All right. Hello, guys. Hello, guys,
Oh,
and welcome to The Sims 4 Let's Play. I haven't really come up with a title for this
oh,
series yet, but basically, we're playing
oh.
with the Westbrooks, and the Westbrooks are a family. They didn't just move into town. Actually, they've been here for quite a
Oh,
while. But some of the Sims that you see here have just moved in. So without getting ahead of myself, I am just going to introduce everyone who's here. So the Sim that I'm paused on right now, her name isn't actually Westbrook, but she is Adeline Blake, and she is the maternal grandmother of the Sims that we're going to be playing with. However, let me see. So right now she's observing the sky, but I'm going to try to get a better view of her. I think this is pretty nice right here. So I'm gonna change her outfit because she did just come from work. And let
baby,
me see. Okay,
baby.
power pose. Okay, so this is Adeline Westbrook. And like I said, she is the grandmother of the Sims that we're gonna be playing with. So Miss Adeline, her aspiration is a big happy family. She wants to become a parent. She wants to read to a child for 2 total hours. She wants to socialize with her child for 10 times. This isn't the first time I've seen this aspiration, but I actually need to kind of do that a little bit more because we do have a kid in the household, as you can see, who is her youngest and only grandson. But yeah, this is Adeline. This is her aspiration. She is an ocean observer, marine biologist, level 7, and soon to get a promotion, which is exciting. She currently lives in this house right here, and this is Copperdale. If you don't know, this is just a house that came with the high school expansions pack. I did end up expanding it a little bit, only because this family is so big. But yeah, this is her house. This is the house that she bought with her husband. So, yeah, I'm gonna get in the house a little later. But yeah, they're in Copperdale. This is some of her skills. She loves baking. Apparently she's only level 1 in charisma, which is really low. I don't know why she's only level 1, but she's mastered the cooking skill. She likes cross-stitching. She's a fitness girly. She loves flower arranging. So this flower set right here, this is actually hers. She is very, very smart. She's she's a whip. And she's level 5 in parenting, level 3 in piano, level 3 in gaming, video gaming. These are her relationships, her granddaughters, her child, her daughter, her son-in-law, former son-in-law, we'll get into that a little later, her grandson, and just some other people that her granddaughters have kind of brought around, friends, relationships, etc. Her inventory, not really going to go through this too long. There's just some flowers in here because these are, this is her garden right here. And this is her simology. She is neat, cheerful, creative. She loves the outside. Obviously, she spends a lot of time outside with her gardening and looking up at the stars, and she is a marine biologist, so yeah, that's really, she loves going outside, loves going in the water. She's family oriented and domestic. I'm gonna skip over her preferences for now. And her milestones. She's a people person, and she is single and loving it since the death of her husband. She has a great reputation. She's, been in Copperdale for quite some time. She has a few friends, friends that have been with her for a while. She's pretty unknown. She's not really in the public eye at all. And let's see, she's not in any clubs or groups or organizations. But I could totally see her actually maybe starting a gardening club of her own, or joining, I think there is like a garden gnome club. I could see her, yeah. Yeah, she got invited just like that. So yeah, that is Adeline. And then over here we have Miss Evelyn Westbrook in her PJs because it is 9 o'clock at night. So it's a lot happening in Evelyn's life right now. But currently she is surrounded by her kids, whom she loves so much. Like, she literally lives for her kids. But yeah, this is Miss Evelyn Westbrook, former wife of Marcus Westbrook, who we'll get into a little bit later. Evelyn also has a family aspiration. She wants to have a successful lineage. So I guess what this panel is trying to tell me is that I should really be reading to my kids a lot more, because apparently she has that same want. So we're gonna definitely go ahead and do that. She actually doesn't have a job growing up, or not growing up, but I guess when her kids were growing up and she was raising her kids, she was a teacher. She was, very smart, very just well-known, well-liked teacher at the high school, and her kids absolutely loved her, and she loved her kids, her students, and, she got a lot of fulfillment out of that job. She really enjoyed it. However, when her kids got a little older, and her husband started making a little bit more money as a basketball player, eventually her husband kind of introduced the idea of her just, deciding to stay home and raise her kids, especially because at that time her boy was pretty young. So she eventually quit her job and stayed home and became a stay-at-home mom, wife. And yeah, so that is why she does not have a job right now. Her skills are, she's level 2 in charisma, level 6 in cooking, level 4 in fitness, level 4 in logic, level 5 in handiness, which that was a skill that actually increased quite a bit lately. She's level 4 in logic, if I didn't say that already, level 8 in parenting, level 6 in research and debate, and level 2 in writing. These are her relationships. Of course, her kids. She loves her kids and her mother, Adeline, right here. She has a few friends that she's met. She used to live in San Myshuno. No, she used to live in that one world that's like LA. It's like the Sims version of LA. I can't remember it, but she did make a couple friends out there. She's not super close to them right now since moving back to Copperdale. However, this is her husband, so I guess we can just get into this right now. I am not going to get into it super, like, a lot, I guess, only because they're playing music and I don't want to get copyrighted. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear me over that music. But anyways, this is Marcus Westbrook right here. He is a B-list celebrity. He's a professional athlete. He's hot-headed, ambitious, hates children, athletic, I think. Let me see really quickly. Athletic or active, and he's a romantic. They have amazing compatibility. They're very attracted to each other, but they literally hate each other right now. So basically, continuing off from the story, Evelyn quit her job and decided to stay home to raise her 2 teenage daughters and her child. I think he was a child at the time. He could have been a toddler though. The baby boy. And they lived like that for a while. They were all, I guess, before Marcus really gained like a lot of traction and success and of course money, they all lived in this house and their grandmother's house, Evelyn's. So, yeah, as you can imagine, it was a pretty tight fit. Very, very cramped. There is one bathroom in this house, guys. So, yeah, they got very familiar with each other very quickly. And everything was good. I think if you were to ask the daughters, the girls, because they, have the best memory, I think that they would both say like that this house is very fun to them and that they really, really do, love living here. They love their grandmother. They're super close to her. They have really great memories here. However, when Marcus started making a lot more money and becoming, getting the attention of the fans and the scouts and everybody at work, obviously he was like, I don't want to live in my mother-in-law's house anymore. We are gonna move out. So he took his wife, he took his daughters and his son, and they moved to, I'm gonna figure out the name of this world because it's kind of important. So he moved them all and they moved to Del Sol Valley. Marcus lives here in this house right here on the top of the hill. Beautiful, gorgeous, super expensive house. And yeah, like they have a movie theater in there. They have their own basketball court, own gym. Like it was huge. They moved there and for a long time they never really saw Evelyn. Like they kind of lost touch a little bit. And so sooner rather than later, Marcus kind of just let the fame get to his head. He was spotted around town several different occasions talking to younger women that of course were not Evelyn, were not his wife. And yeah, he started to get that reputation that, he was a ladies' man, which, to be fair, I think that most basketball players get. And the only thing about it is that they had concrete proof, concrete evidence to back it up. So it got to the point where it was getting so bad that he had a publicist assigned to him. So this publicist was pretty new to the field, hadn't been working very long, but had quickly like gotten higher up in her career, you know, climbed the ladder pretty quickly. So eventually, you know, time went on and they, you know, spent a lot of time together as publicist and client, and a relationship kind of bloomed from there. So, yeah, Marcus fell in love with his publicist, and while being married, on a whole mission of trying to make him look better and trying to erase allegations of cheating and scandals and whatnot, he ended up falling in love with that person that was supposed to erase that for him. So now Marcus lives with Antoinette Villegas. Evelyn does know who she is, but she's not very familiar with her. They live in that same house in Del Sol Valley, and basically she's living out the life that should have been hers. And basically Marcus moves Antoinette in and kicked Evelyn out. Their daughters are older, so at the time, I'll just get into it. Brooklyn and Jocelyn, they were already graduated high school, already, you know, young adults, already kind of making a life for themselves, as you can kind of see here. Jocelyn's wearing the romance career, love matchmaking career outfit. But she was still living with her parents, only, you know, to save money and stuff like that. Brooklyn, the eldest daughter, had moved out already. She had just finished film school, and she was, you know, trying to have, you know, a couple different experiences, couple different gigs, small gigs here and there. But, you know, once she heard the news, she moved back home. And, yeah, everyone's just kind of moving, you know, just kind of here, back in Copperdale. So, like I said, she is aging up pretty soon. I did end up turning aging off for right now, but she's ambitious. She is a neat sim. She is romantic. She's gloomy and family oriented. And she's also a domestic sim. So she did kind of get, you know, certain traits from her mom to pass on to her kids, possibly. Who knows? Let's see. She's a people person. She has a great reputation after the whole scandal with Marcus blew over. Did make, you know, kind of worldly national news. So everybody took her side, obviously. I think Marcus's reputation is kind of just shot. It's in the trash. Rightfully so, because he did, you know, step out on his marriage, and he did, you know, ruin a family, regardless of how old the daughters were. They still have a kid, you know, they still have a little child together. So yeah, there's definitely some deep run hurtful emotions there. But and let's see, she's also in no clubs, so, you know, maybe we'll have to join a club or start one ourselves. now we're gonna go over to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn is currently washing the dishes right now. Let's see. But this is Brooklyn. She is the eldest, first daughter, eldest child of Marcus and Evelyn, and she is, to an extent, a golden child. I do think that Evelyn and Adeline, her mom and her grandmother, loved each of their children the same. I don't really think that Evelyn showed like favoritism towards any one kid. Um, but you know, with Brooklyn being the oldest daughter, firstborn, she kind of took that upon herself to be the best and to have big goals in life. So, like I said earlier, she graduated from film school, and her dream is to be a master actress. Right now, she's an intermediate actress, and I have been playing with her. Like I said, really ever since she graduated high school and she moved out. But she is obviously an adult. She's a young adult. She is obviously in the acting career. She has yet to earn gold in a commercial acting gig, but she has given a street performance. So once we hit this goal right here, we should be able to progress to the next level. And she is a silver screen icon. So once she went to film school, you know, she definitely met some of the right people and she did the right things. So after she graduated college, she like propelled up the ladder. So silver screen icon, this is level 10. She has yet to she is in a show. It's like a period piece, you know, a historical drama, which is why she's with the Grand Talent Agency. But more than having friends in the right places, she's just really good at what she does. So some of her skills are she's level 7 in acting. She's level 2 in ballet, she's level 10 in charisma, level 8 in comedy, level 3 in cross-stitching, which is like, who cares? Level 5 in entrepreneurship, level 9 in fitness, level 4 in logic, level 10 in piano. So she's also like a singer/artist. Level 7 in romance, level 10 in singing, and she has 3 skill mastery perks. She almost had 4, but I didn't see the point in the 4th one that they were gonna give her, so I canceled that. But yeah, mind you, I think I only have 2 sims in this entire save, and you'll see there's a lot of sims in this save that I like, you know, I cycle with, I play with. I've created only 2 sims that even have 1 skill mastery perk. So for her to have 3 is kind of insane. And I believe she got the first one when she was a teenager. So yeah, like that's like one thing I noticed was like she gained skill like really, really quickly. I don't know why, but her first mastery skill perk that she gained was a powerful performer, which makes sense because she is a very high level in acting and piano and singing and dancing. But it says, Brooklyn's a talented performer, no matter the skill. She builds relationships with her audience and makes spectators' negative emotions melt away. She also has the In the Zone mastery perk. Skill building is Brooklyn's jam, and she can enter moments of serious focus where she won't have to worry about motives. And then she also has a skillful sleep, which is kind of like, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, the first time I loaded this, the first time I let her skillful sleep, I almost like had a heart attack. Like my heart dropped because like basically like you go to for anyone that hasn't seen this in action, I guess, like basically you send your sim to sleep, and within like 5 sim minutes like a ghost pops up from their sleep, and it's basically like, you know, this ghost or, you know, their consciousness or whatever is like doing skills, like random things around the house. But like I saw that and I was like, oh my goodness, did she just die? Like, did she just die in her sleep? Like, did the Sims just like add another death that I had no idea about? But no, that's just the skillful sleep trait. Aside from that, these are her relationships. So she has really, really, really like close relationships. A lot of these people she's known since she was a teenager. Going back on what I said earlier about her knowing people in the right places, this is Octavia Bailey, a global superstar. This was a very, very just random encounter. When she was in high school, her and her friends, you know, they lived in Del Sol Valley, so they would go to coffee shops and clubs that were kind of well known to be like celebrity hotspots. And so they went one night, they weren't really expecting much, and it just so happened that Octavia, and I believe his name is Thorne, her husband, were there, and she saw her, and she just kind of instantly took a liking to her. So they are really close friends. They've been close friends since, you know, she was a teenager. She is, you know, her mentor. And yeah, she's really helped a lot kind of in Brooklyn's career. So let me just check to see how long I've been recording, because I know I can yap. So I'm actually at 30 minutes. Okay, so I ran out of time, but if you enjoyed this video, please like and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in part 2.